Hey guys, if you are in the process of opening a restaurant, this is going to be a really great episode for you. I am honored today to spend the hour with Rocco De Grazia. He's got Rocco's Little Chicago Pizzeria in Tucson. He's been open for 26 years. He does killer business. He's got a killer cult following of guests and employees, and he is getting ready to open a brand new location and move his existing business over about 200 yards. And double the size of his space. So super, super exciting. We decided to take some time today to really kind of coach through what his opening process was going to look like so he can make sure that this opening is super, super successful. So you're going to see in this episode that we're really going to start with building a vision of what opening day looks like from each position in the restaurant so that we can get an idea of what success looks like for him, what the expectations are, and then create a path backwards from there of what he needs to do in order to be successful and get to that vision, and some potential roadblocks that he needs to clear out. So you're going to see I challenge him a little bit to really kind of put pen to paper here, get some dates on the calendar, and really kind of write a schedule specifically for what he's going to need. You can tell he's kind of going off some gut, which is great with his experience, but he's got a very tight timeline here. So super important that he's really, really clear on how to go execute. And he's got some tremendous resources available to him. And he's already started the process and it's going to be just wildly successful. So if you're in town, go check out the restaurant. But otherwise, enjoy this episode. Welcome to the No Hesitations podcast, the show where restaurant leaders learn tools, tactics, and habits from the world's greatest operators. I'm your host, Kristen Marvin, with Solutions by Kristen. I've spent the last 2 decades in the restaurant industry and now partner with restaurant owners to develop their leaders and scale their businesses without wasting time and energy so they can achieve work-life balance and make more money. You can now engage with me on the show and share topics you'd like to hear about, leadership lessons you want to learn, and any feedback that you have. Simply click the link at the top of the show notes, and I'll give you a shout out on a future episode. Thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to connecting. All right, Rocco, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Super excited. We're going to change things up today and do something a little bit different. We are going to do some coaching around your new opening and talk a little bit about training today, which is awesome. So thanks for the opportunity. Can't wait to dive in and learn a little bit more about your business. But before we do that, would you give the listeners a little bit of background on who you are and talk a little bit about your business?
Sure. My name is Rocco De Grazia. I come from the southeast side of Chicago. So at the time I grew up, it was still mostly Eastern European and, a smattering of everything else in there too, and had steel mills that were still around. And there was plenty of taverns and pizzerias for everyone who had a job in the steel mills to eat and grab something on the way home. I think there was like 8 or 9 independent pizzerias in my section of Chicago, which I think only had like 35,000 people for that neighborhood.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And so I had Domino's for the first time when I was 18, and we sent our delivery driver from the pizzeria I worked at to go get Domino's because we were like, "What's this Domino's?
Yeah.
Let's get pepperoni. What's that?" Like I hadn't had pepperoni ever on pizza either because everybody in Chicago eats sausage. So right,
Yeah, or double sausage. I hear is the way to go.
Sure. So that's where I grew up, and like in Chicago, people have like a favorite pizzeria, and they'll get in a fist fight to defend their favorite pizzeria. And like, that was like conspicuously absent when I moved here. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's pizza." And, none of it was exactly what I grew up eating. Zachary's was pretty close. In fact, Dave from Zachary's worked at the same pizzeria I worked at in Champaign-Urbana called Papa Del's for a while, but he's about 10 years older than I am. So his pizza was, tangentially similar, but also I was just missing it real hard, So I started making it at home, while I was working in all these other restaurants in town, and I would bring my deep dish pan to the pizzeria I was working at, and like make deep dish pizzas on the sly for people and stuff, for just to try it and stuff. So
I love it. I love it. That's
yeah,
great.
so then I opened, like everybody's like, you should open a pizzeria. So I did. So that's pretty much the story. So
And you've been open how long now?
just under 26 years.
Incredible. Same location, all 26
Yeah.
years?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So you have an exciting new project coming up.
Right. We're moving 200 yards to the west to a place that's twice as big. And I finally designed what the floor plan in best I could in the confines of where had to go, and the kitchen, and just how things are going to flow. And I'm crossing my fingers we did it right, but it can't be worse than where we are now. Like the little place where we are now it grew organically. It was never set up to be a pizzeria. We just kind of shoehorned one in there, and we do our best. But I think my employees don't even know how hard it is to work there. They have,
Yeah.
it's always been really hard training people for our procedures, because it's somewhat counterintuitive and unique, just because of the confines of the building and the styles of pizza we're trying to pull off in a conveyor oven, which is not the traditional Chicago pizza oven. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
so we're
Well, and
moving.
you do significant volume out of that little space. How many square feet, is your current location?
I think it's 1,400 inside. Plus, we have like a 600 square foot patio, and so a significant amount of our seating's on the patio. So we can't use it most of the year, or half the year, I'd say.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And how big is your kitchen?
Uh, I don't know, like a third of that, maybe. Yeah.
How many people can you fit in there at one time?
Employees or
Yeah.
customers?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, employees. Let's see. Exactly. Yeah. What? Okay. On a busy night, we'll have, I think, let's see, 6 in the back of the house, and like 7 in the front of the house, or at least 6. And that's a lot of staff for a small place like that, where everybody's bouncing off each other and reaching past. So
Yeah, absolutely. So what's it been like for you to be able to design this whole new space knowing your business model?
it's a dream come true. Like I worked with some local chefs and stuff, and that have been longtime customers, and they know what we do. And then I said, this is what I want to do. And we kind of like looked at the space and had a back and forth with our architect, who also has designed plenty of restaurants and stuff, and my kitchen designer, who's also designed plenty of back of the house. And we came up with something that we think is going to be good. I mean, it remains to be seen, but
Yeah.
it can't be worse. Let's just say that, Kristen.
There's so many things that you just don't know. We were talking about this on Monday. When you just don't know. You can design it well, and then once you put the people in the space and you get the customers in there and the orders actually start to come through, it's a really fun part of opening. It's really, really exciting. I can't wait to see
It
you guys
sounds
open up.
terrifying to me. I mean, I've been standing in the same spot making pizzas for a long time. But yeah, like
Yeah.
we're equal to the task, and everybody's excited about doing it. And
Yeah.
also, we're gonna have to, all of a sudden, we need to do it before we can train a bunch more people that we're gonna need to do it. So.
Totally. So, and it's difficult when you've been doing something like you have for so long to now take it and extract everything that you know and try to teach a whole new group of people how to do it so that it's really well executed, right? Because your customers are going to come in and expect the same
Right,
quality of service and hospitality and food that you've been providing 200 yards away, right?
right, exactly. I think, like, ultimately, there's no way we can't improve on our previous location. It's
Yeah.
just, it's laid out so much better and has more logical and ergonomic features, that it's just going to be a better system. But you're right, we have no idea how to implement this, and it's going to probably take a number of weeks or even months to dial it in right. And we've
Yeah.
still changed things 26 years later. to get our place better. It's like, we should do this. Oh, okay. And, most of the policies, like everyone else, most of the policies we have in place now are reflections of somebody's brainy idea fixing something we did poorly in the past. So,
I
stay
love it.
open, and you got to stay open to innovation. Otherwise, you have to ask yourself, why are we doing it this way?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I love that. And your empowerment of your team and your people is helping you innovate, helping you get better. And that's really going to be something that's so crucial and important on day one of this and throughout your training, day one, and then continuing to get that feedback on a daily basis for the
Yeah.
first 90 days that you're open. Cause like you're going to be changing things constantly.
Right.
Which is going to be really exciting. But it's taxing. Every time I opened a restaurant, I told my husband, I'll see you in 90 days, babe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm leading up to the holidays. I think there's no vacations or downtime. I don't think that's okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited to be as excited as I was when I first opened my restaurant. Let's just
That's
say
awesome.
that.
That's awesome. I love it. Unlock the skills to transform your leadership with the Hospitality Leaders Roadmap. Move from ordinary to extraordinary, packed with practical strategies to lead with confidence and create lasting impact in your restaurant. Visit kristenmarvin.com/audio to download your free audiobook today.
Howdy, listener. Are you also a podcaster seeking to stand out in the crowded audio landscape? I'm here to help. L. Connor Voice, LLC offers top-tier audio engineering, meticulous content management, and more, all tailored to save you time and elevate your podcast to new heights of professionalism. With L. Connor Voice, you can focus on what you do best, creating captivating content, while I handle the rest. Say goodbye to hours spent tweaking audio levels and managing uploads. I ensure your podcast shines with polished sound quality and seamless delivery. Ready to take your podcast to the next level? Contact L. Connor Voice, LLC today and make producing your podcast as easy as hitting record. For more information, go to lconnorvoice.com. Links are in the episode notes.
So let's jump into the nitty gritty here. So let's start with opening day. Do you have a target date? I know they always kind of move, but
We're
what are you
going to
thinking?
try the 21st, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was a week after that, pending permits being pulled, and also, the way that we need to familiarize ourselves with the new POS system and everything too,
Okay, and
but
you're
that's
thinking
okay.
October 21st?
Yeah, it's in October.
Okay.
A couple of weeks now, weeks.
Okay. Sounds good. So let's take ourselves into opening day.
Sure.
Let's kind of play around a little bit with some visualization. We're going to start front of house, heart of house, back of house. And then as we move through this, we will kind of put a roadmap together of exactly what you want to see done over the next couple of weeks in order to get ready for this opening.
Ooh, okay.
And like I said, I'm here with you the whole way. I'll take notes. I'll send you a recap. We're just going to challenge you.
I needed the roadmap.
You got it. Let's create it.
With
So
lots of balloon animals and arrows and stuff.
Whatever you need to help you along the way. I love it.
Okay, cool.
So opening day. So let's plant yourself inside the restaurant.
Right.
What do you want to be doing on opening day? Where do you want to be?
I need to, and I've talked with my managers, and they kind of expect me to kind of interface with the customers and welcome them into the new space. So I'll be largely emceeing and bussing tables probably for the first week or two, in addition to doing a lot of prep and trying to make sure the line works well.
Okay.
But also all of my front of the house and back of the house managers, they want to be able to do everything at this place just so that they can grok the whole thing in a timely manner. So
what do you mean by doing everything?
Well, like I've only got one manager who only does front of the house and one manager that only does back of the house, but all the rest of them do both, and they want to be have fluent facility in both before we have a grand opening or get really busy during the busy season,
Okay. So the front of house manager is going to need to be trained in the back of the house, and then vice versa for your other manager. And everybody's going to
Absolutely.
need to train in the new space, right? To get some muscle
Everybody,
memory
because
down.
yeah, we're getting a new POS system as well, and we're gonna have to probably reconfigure that several times for what we need as well.
Okay. So going back to opening day, you are greeting customers, you're bussing tables, you're kind of emceeing the whole show, making yourself available for questions as they come up, ready to put out
Right,
fires if need be, right? Training
right. Because
on demand.
what's probably gonna happen is that they're gonna like policy is just gonna be set all the times because we don't know what we're gonna do. So they're like, what do we do if we need this? And somebody has to make a decision, and I'll have to probably do that on the fly with some consult, but then
Yep,
write it down. Okay, this is what we're doing now.
totally. Do you have servers at the new location, or is it counter service?
No, we're doing servers. We were thinking that we might get away with counter service, but the pandemic has proven that people really want the servers. I know a lot of people tried to just move to bistro service and stuff like that. Now, almost all of them are having having waitress service because I think that's what the public is both used to, finds familiar, and wants in their dining experience. As dining out is as much entertainment as anything else.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that in town for sure. I think it depends on where you're at, but I think people love to slow down here. They love to enjoy their meals, right? Like whether
Right?
it's the locals or snowbirds or whatever, they're here. They're going out to really treat themselves
Yeah.
and enjoy that full experience.
And we could meet them at what we're like more of a mid-tier restaurant rather
Hmm.
than fast casual, but we're definitely not like fancy schmancy, but people do want to be taken care of. They want you to
Yeah,
fill their drinks. They want another cup of ranch right now, and we're able
yeah.
to meet and greet that.
Yeah, and your servers are fantastic. They're super hospitable. They're incredibly engaging. They love the food, which is amazing. So let's talk about what successful servers look like on day one. What are they doing? What's happening? What do they know? Lay all that out for me.
They need to know the menu because there's a lot of people these days with a lot of exceptions in their diet or restrictions. So they have to know if there's onions in something. And we've always struggled with that, but we're definitely going to make sure that, especially when we bring in new servers, that they know the menu. And you especially need to know the menu because you're going to go to this new POS system and have to like type in vegan or whatever, no gluten, etc. And
Yep.
that you have to be have some facility with both the menu and how to use the system.
Okay. What else?
Um, just that we need the attitudes to be light and airy. I think we're gonna have to go to food runners in addition to our servers on day one, just because it's such a larger space, and since we're also doing tip sharing and stuff, so it's not like white tablecloth where your server is your dude. It's like the team is helping you out. There's a face to it who's the person who's taking your order, and they might bring your food out, but you shouldn't expect that, at least in a place of the caliber and speed that we need to do it.
Okay. So menu knowledge, comfortability on the POS system, positive attitudes. What else?
I think that's good. Uh,
Okay.
you know, and also, there's always the fine line between the hovering and the letting you uh, have a pile of dirty plates at your table. You always want to strike that balance where you're pre-bussing as much as the customer wants you to pre-bus. You know?
Okay. Perfect. So some steps of service or some sort of service expectation
Yeah,
throughout
for sure.
training. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you bringing over 100% of your old staff?
I think so far one person got another job, and her last day is the day that we're our last day of service. So everybody else is coming over, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
great.
expect that everybody to be able to hack it or enjoy working at the new place. But as far as I know, yes, everybody's coming.
Okay. And then let's talk about do you have a bar in this place?
Yes.
In
Yeah.
the new
Full bar.
location? Okay. What do you need your bartender? What does a successful bartender look like on day one?
Well, I don't know, but I've been talking today with a friend of mine who's opened several bars in town and is currently a bartender, the head bartender at a fairly fancy place. And we're gonna sit down next week and design what a successful bar is supposed to have.
Great.
Since we just have an ad hoc kind of bar right now, like it exists, and everybody can kind of make a drink, but we're gonna have to have it more granular at this place. So, I need to know how to run a bar from
Great.
before day one, and
Okay.
I'm already um, made entries for a consultant on that front. So
Perfect. Great. And so some of the things are going to be very similar, right? Your bartender's going to need POS knowledge. They're going to need the menu knowledge. They're going to need enhanced beverage knowledge, cocktail knowledge, right? As far as
yes, yes,
making the recipes, not just knowing what the ingredients are, like your servers will. Okay. And positive attitude too, right?
yeah,
Which is really
yeah.
important. Okay. Love that you're getting some support on that. That's awesome.
But
And then let's go.
I'm also getting somebody who um, he was the maitre d' of the Kingfisher before they sold it for many years,
Mhm.
and I'm having Teddy give me a consult on how we should staff and to keep the positions appropriate for the size restaurant, which is pretty much very close to what the Kingfisher has, which is if anybody doesn't know, is like a 30-year-old seafood restaurant here in town. It's the place where the chefs go after work to hang out at the bar and stuff. It's a great place, both casual and fancy at the same time. So
I love it. So he's going to put together a schedule for you.
yeah, or at least an idea of how to schedule.
Okay.
Once we get the space looking like a real restaurant, which is very soon.
Yeah. And then are you going to have a host stand or
Yes.
kind of do what you do now? Okay. A
No, what
dedicated host to that
we're
or
gonna have a
what's that
dedicated
going to look like?
host or hostess, maybe two, well, like one to seat people and stuff. And also, right at the front of the building, we're gonna have both a cold holding and a hot holding cabinet for all the takeout, so that it should be not you shouldn't have to encroach on the kitchen to get that stuff now like we have now. It should already either be in the cabinet or heading that way
Okay.
before the customers arrive.
Are
So there
you
won't be as many steps.
okay? Perfect. So they're going to be managing seating the tables and taking to go orders and managing online delivery, takeout, things like that.
Yeah, I'm seeing two people doing that at least, and then also we're gonna have a merchandiser in our foyer for like takeout sauces and meals and stuff like that, and also a pile of our merchandise like T-shirts that people always ask for, and they'll be interfacing with the customers on that front as well.
Is that going to be a long-term position or just something for the opening?
Oh, long term, yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna do that all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So what does a successful host look like day one?
Well, you have to have a good attitude and be able to smile. I mean, some people you can get away with waiting and bussing tables and not be super affable, but a host or hostess has to meet and greet everybody and is your face. So you need folks who like people genuinely. You
Mhm.
can't have folks who tolerate people, which you can teach a good amount of customer service, but there's also an innate ability of you want to do this or not. So that's what we look for stuff that
Sure.
like that.
And then, are you gonna be taking reservations or just first come,
Yeah,
first serve?
I think we're gonna have to take reservations because we've already had some questions about, oh, are you going to be able to take my 30 top now? Like one of the reasons we designed this restaurant with a bunch of movable tables is because we can't usually accommodate more than like 8-10 people at any tables now. But like people want to do that. They want to have their, graduation party or their, right before their wedding, the dinner or whatever you call it. I forgot. It's been a while since I got married. But people like to do stuff like that. And one of the reasons I'm moving and have configured the dining room as such is that we should be able to do at least 130 top at once, you know.
Okay. So, do you have a reservation system, or are you going to need to create one?
We're going to probably need to create one, although there is one within the Toast platform that we're dealing with. And
Okay.
we're going to have, one of the reasons I switched to this platform is it's very powerful and flexible. And also, it's kind of ubiquitous in town that Toast is taking over the territory. So that means that a lot of my incoming employees are already familiar with the system. So
Okay. How many people are you going to need to hire before opening day?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot for a dozen.
Okay. Have you sat down and kind of written a schedule out of each day of the week, what you're going to need for the kitchen, kind of what you're thinking for the front, if you'd want part-time
No,
people, full-time people?
we've just verbally, the managers and I have verbally kind of like bandied that around, but we haven't really like sketched it out. So we're
Okay.
gonna have to
Um,
figure that out.
do your managers write the schedule, or do you do that?
One of the managers is the current schedule writer, but I think I'm gonna
Okay.
take it over because I'm gonna be doing less cooking and more managerial stuff, just because I think I need to, and that
Okay.
would make more sense in this bigger space.
Are you
So
Okay. Are you thinking that I would definitely recommend having your manager you sketch out what a schedule is going to look like, because you're going to need one eventually. Might as well
oh
kind of
yeah,
start now, right? Understanding how many shifts everybody that's currently on your team is working. So then as you're interviewing and hiring people, how many shifts you have available, with the understanding that things are going to shift quite a bit over the first month or two.
right.
Are you thinking that your servers are going to rotate through? Maybe they serve one day, they host one day, they merchandise one day, and keep it
Yeah,
because you're in a tip pool?
that's kind of how it works.
Okay.
My front of the house managers end up serving more because some people have outlasted have lasted in our employ since before there was tip pooling, and they kind of have a residual, well, I'm not serving because I don't get the big tips kind of attitude, and we make them do it anyway. But we're going forward, we're going to have to kind of quash that attitude. And also, I think it's important to rotate through. And we do that with the kitchen too. Nobody does the same stuff every day. Although I expect that to be more granular in this place too, because
Yeah.
it's going to be busier and specializing is going to actually be a little bit more important.
Okay. So what does kitchen success look like on day one?
Uh, just being able to make the food like we made it at the old place in the new place. That's fine. We're not monkeying with the menu yet. We have big plans, but the customers want the old standby, and indeed, the health department wants the same menu that I sent them be served on the first day. So that's fine. We'll do that. And then, as long as we can make the food in the new kitchen, uh, and in a semi-organized fashion, the first day, that's fine.
Okay. Do you have, you said a lot of your kitchen staff is going to come over. So do you envision day one rock star people in every single position, and then somebody training next to them in each station?
Probably, yeah. We're gonna have more people just watching and kind of figuring it out while we do service. Well,
Okay.
I hopefully we'll have a few days of fake service or friends and family service to familiarize yourself with things. But we're bringing over a few of our key pieces of equipment, and the new equipment I have is actually just vast improvements on what we have anyway. So it's not like we've changed our cooking process at all so much as streamlined it a little bit. But
Okay.
just where everything is going to be befuddling to everyone until they get it. So I understand.
Totally. Okay. Do you have recipes in place for all of your items in the kitchen?
Oh yeah, they're
Okay.
I have recipes going back to our earliest days. I'm going to have to reconfigure some of them because um, and instead of like doing single batches of dough that we triple or whatever, I want it to reflect 150-pound bag of flour, like that for dough, and just to make things easier on everybody. And I think we're just gonna have to scale things up.
Okay, perfect. And then do you have opening and closing procedures in place for the front of the house and the kitchen?
Well, I do for the old place. We're gonna have
Mhm.
to rewrite those, obviously.
Update
Yes.
them. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So you've got the framework, you just need to make some adjustments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Um, okay, so October 21st, opening day for timeline. When do you wanna have all of your staff hired?
It doesn't have to be right away because I think we're gonna close some sections and stuff. We'll probably keep it the same size as far as the number of seats as we have in our current location, and just
Mhm,
not seat some areas because I know we won't be able to accommodate everybody at once, and then no nobody understands that when they go to a new restaurant,
right.
but that's not my problem. like, like
You
I've,
wanna
I've
do the
gone with
best you can, yeah.
my girlfriend always likes to go, oh, this place moved to a bigger location, let's check them out. I'm like, really? They've only been open 3 days, hon. But she wants to go, and it's always like, why aren't they seating everybody? I'm
Right,
like, dude, just
totally.
chill.
So when do you wanna have your opening team hired?
Like for the entire, like, fully staff hired.
No, because it sounds like what you're saying is you're gonna have a team to get ready to open on the 21st, and then you're probably gonna continue to hire the next
Right.
few weeks, a month, depending on
Right.
who
I'd say
what you need.
by Thanksgiving week, we need to have the place open fully and have all the
Okay.
staff in place.
Okay,
and
perfect.
and I haven't really tried to hire yet, but a, a lot of people have approached me. They already know that we're expanding. We have an okay reputation as an employer, and
Mhm.
I've gotten some old employees that want to come back and do stuff, already put in applications and stuff like that.
Amazing.
Like I think we won't have as hard a time staffing as other places,
Okay.
and because we're both a known quantity and it's new and exciting at the same time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it shouldn't be as hard as usual to staff up.
Okay. So when do you wanna start well, let me ask you, are you gonna do any training in the old space, or is it
No,
gonna be all
no.
the training in the new space?
All training in the new space.
Okay.
Yeah.
When can you start doing that?
Hopefully, a week from, say, Tuesday next week. So 10 days from now, we're hoping to get, but I can't train anybody till I have the health department's okay. I can't have any food in there until then.
So what
So
if could you have people in for a full meeting, kind of discuss the concepts, talk about service, talk about expectations,
totally.
do some
Yeah,
POS training?
right. Yeah, we're gonna have both new hires and old employees for an all staff meeting at least once. And I envision that happening, and I've already, you know, written that on a schedule and stuff. So everybody
Perfect.
should figure out that, and they want to know what's going on. They keep asking all the managers, what are we doing? And so I keep
Yeah.
updating little notes and stuff and talking to people
Okay.
personally. And
Great.
yeah, it should
Are
happen,
you
but you're right. It's going to need some coordination.
Yeah. Are you going to turn on online ordering day one, or are you going to wait on that?
I think we're going to wait. I think we're
Okay.
going to wait. Also, we're moving from, we're doing Grubhub right now. And then I think we're moving to DoorDash, which seems to be a bit more professional, and also their reputation is just much better than all of the other online ordering systems. And I know we live in a day and age when we can't completely escape the online ordering uh, app uh, aficionado, let's say. So
You guys started this, man. Carry out, delivery, the pizza industry started all this.
yeah, and now we can't sustain it. And now it's
Yeah.
impossible to staff for delivery yourself. It's just not, and all of these online apps are, none of them have posted a profit yet, I don't think. And they're just burning money trying to be the last man standing. And it looks like we're putting our, we're hooking up to the DoorDash cart. So
Yeah, you got to experiment a little bit, see what works. Okay,
right.
so all staff meeting. So you said your all staff meeting is going to be new hires and existing staff. When do you want to have those new hires hired? Like day before, the 13th, 12th?
Yeah, probably maybe even before that. I thought on Monday or Tuesday I'll put an ad on like ZipRecruiter or something like that. And that way I could be somewhere to interview people at a booth at the new place where they come to the new place and I can, to interview them one after another, et cetera, and
Okay.
winnow through whatever chaff I get.
Okay. So you're going to be hiring next week. You're going to be starting to train in the space the week
We're doing
after.
a lot of stuff next week, but I'm
And
going to
you're
probably
open, yeah.
start by the end of the week. I'm going to start interviewing for staff. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Do you have menu descriptions and menu tests?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, our menu
Cool.
is pretty exhaustive. It says all of the items on the menu on each description, or on each description for each item. It says there's olives on it, et cetera. But we may need to do a little more exhaustive descriptions for our staff so they know, yes, it has garlic in it or olive oil or something like that, but pretty much everything does. Sorry. So, yeah.
So true. Is there anything that you want to do differently? I mean, I know you're doing a lot of things differently
Sure.
with just the new space in and of itself. But as you think about this new venture, is there anything that you want to do differently or kind of take to the next level at this new location?
What do you mean by that? I'm not sure what you're
I
saying.
mean, like, do you want to elevate menu knowledge? Do you want to elevate the engagement with your team and the guests? Do you want to enhance the food quality or decrease ticket times? Anything that you've been kind of scratching your
Sure.
head about in the old space, going, "Hey, I'm going to dream big here. This is what we're going to do."
Yeah, all of those and none of them at the same time. I think the way we interface with our staff and like the way my attitudes of my servers, with some exceptions, is admirable and worth keeping in its current form. And people like our slightly brusque but very friendly service, and that's good. It gets things done, and also people like it. So
Yeah.
I don't see that as being a detriment. Ticket times for sure. I'm upgrading from 1 deep fryer to 3 deep fryers, so that should decrease chicken wing times. We could sell as many chicken wings as we can fry. So the one fryer has been a detriment. We sell 25 tons a year, Kristen.
Yeah. I know you told me that, and I tell everybody I know that. You're gonna
Right.
with 3 fryers, you're just gonna, like, there's not gonna be any more chicken left.
Right. I don't know. Where are the beaks? What happens to all the beaks? I don't even know. But I think 2 of the fryers we're keeping for chicken wings exclusively. And then the third one, we're going to have all of our other things that we put in the fryer that we have to wait for the chicken wings to be done to cook. And I'm getting French fries at this new place, which has been maybe the most asked for item on our menu since we opened. And
Interesting.
there's great money in French fries.
So
Excellent.
wise. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, I know you said earlier that you're not sure how this is all going to play out, but you've got a really awesome framework. It sounds like you've got an incredible team. You've got a menu that has already been tested and proven. You've got a great customer base of people that love you. You've got all the foundation and all the bones.
Well,
Now
I hope
you just get to kind of revisit all that stuff with this group of people and give them a little bit of time in the space, do some soft
Yeah.
openings, some friends and family, and let them go. I think
Yeah,
this
I
is going
think
to be
so too.
incredible.
And I've been telling everybody, I'm like, look, I don't know how to do this any more than you do. If we get in there and you know a better way to do things, or we're doing something dumb, let us know as soon as possible, and we'll change it. you know, like they need buy-in to not like, just because I told you to do it, it's not the right way necessarily, you know?
Yeah.
I've already always rolled with, I want the food to look like this and taste like this when you're done. Like if you have a better way to roll out the dough than I do or something, go for it, dude. If it's something you learn somewhere else, but you know, here's the things that you can't compromise on, and here's the things that you can, and just make sure it looks like this when it's done, you know? And
yeah, that's awesome.
sometimes that's confusing for people training each other.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants a specific thing, but it also has resulted in a lot of good procedures too. So
totally. Yeah. That empowerment's incredible. You mentioned the other day that you wanted to rethink your position long-term, and you've been on the line 3 days a week, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you see yourself doing in the restaurant a year down the road from opening?
I'd like to do, if I'm in the kitchen, I'd like to do a lot of prep because I like doing that, and also I like the hands-on stuff. I don't think I'm of an age where line work makes a lot of sense anymore. It's just you know, a little too physical for me, and I think you know, I could work on new specials and then help with catering and stuff like that, and like I said, largely be more of a face of the restaurant and more of an innovator where innovation is necessary, you know?
Yeah, I
Does that
love
make
it.
sense?
Totally. You get to spend time and energy where you want,
Right.
and be playful and strategize and creative, which is just going to continue to open more doors for you to be even more creative, which is great.
Right. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Rocco, you're amazing. Can't wait for the new
Oh, you're
location to open
amazing.
up. I know there's going to be a killer playlist or music playing in the restaurant at all times. That's a given, right?
Sure, it's gonna have to be a little less illegal at the new place.
I love it. I love it. Well, anybody from Tucson that's listening to this, give him a week or two maybe, and then go.
Yeah,
Go get out.
please don't come on opening day. I mean, you can, but
Yeah,
I'm telling
just
you,
don't expect anything. Don't expect to get in the door.
Right.
Oh, and if you're visiting from out of town, please check it out. It is our favorite pizza in town. It's some of the best pizza we've ever had. Seriously, I know it took us a few months to discover you when we moved to town, and my husband, I think I've told you, but like Tyler wants this pizza once a week, and I'm
That's
like,
exactly. I know everybody. My theory is, and hear me out. Everybody has, and I do for sure, has a half dozen places they go to all the time.
yeah.
So our job is to kick one of the other places off and replace it.
Well, I think this new location is going to help build that excitement around it. So, congratulations! Can't wait to see
Thanks.
it. Super exciting. Thanks for
All
coming
right.
on the show and spending some time with me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks to all your listeners and I guess watchers too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us. If you know anybody in the restaurant industry that is getting ready to open and you think would find this episode beneficial in our brainstorming session, coaching session, please feel free to forward this episode on to them, and we will talk to you next week.